The first thing students do when they arrive at the San Joaquin Building Futures Academy is clock in. It's not just for show. These teens are getting paid minimum wage as part of a youth-built construction class taught by John Van Husty.
I'm gonna have the three of you working up in the museum. Okay, we're gonna be prepping up the museum for more paint.
After a safety briefing, the students head over to their construction site for the day. A 65-year-old former naval warship docked just about 100 yards away.
Okay, so a couple things to be aware of. Do not step in those two circles.
Okay,
Make sure not to follow those circles. There's another open hole back there.
Oh my God.
Everything else is completely safe, okay?
This ship, the USS Lucid, was built in 1953 and is one of only 2 minesweepers like it left in the world. It was in bad shape when David Rakovich first laid eyes on it in nearby Bradford Island. But he had a vision: to restore the ship to its former glory and turn it into a museum for the city of Stockton.
We researched where we could put this vessel here in the Deepwater Channel, and we discovered this dock here at this former Naval Reserve Center, which is now the Building Futures Academy. It was sitting here unused. So we approached the superintendent of the County Office of Education, explained to him what we wanted to do, and we wanted to incorporate students. So the practices they're learning in the schools next door, they could practice here aboard the ship.
Some students were a little hesitant when they began working on the ship.
When I first seen the ship, I got scared because it's like really old, and I know that it's probably been through a lot and it's not really stable probably. So when we were touring the ship at first, I was like, no way I'm going on that ship. I was so scared. And then when I got on here, I was like, I'm gonna be on this ship every day now. Like, it's pretty fun.
The Building Futures Academy is a high school dropout credit recovery program. It's run by the San Joaquin County Office of Education. It targets at-risk students, giving them a chance to earn a diploma and job skills at the same time.
I'm not gonna say a troubled kid, but when I first got to Building Futures Academy, I was sort of trying to find myself, and it just felt like somewhere I can escape and let my positivity and show to people that I'm not really a bad kid. So here I feel more in my comfort zone. I feel like I don't have to like impress people or act a certain way, like I can just be myself.
Some of the students they're unsure of themselves. They don't necessarily have the experience with work. They don't know what it's like to be consistent and get up every day and show up and put in a full day of actual strenuous labor. And when they get that experience for the first time, it can be a very rude awakening. And those students, they're able to persevere through those things. And when they come out on the other side, there's a sense of confidence. There's a sense of independence that they're able to gain from that experience, and they understand that, yeah, if I can do that and I can work on this ship that takes some skill and it takes a lot of effort, then they know that they can be successful afterwards.
And what you could do is you can come up here and we'll knock out all the webs with the vacuum cleaning up on top of all these sections right here.
John worked as a general contractor for 20 years before joining the Building Futures Academy. He teaches the students the pre-apprenticeship program required for them to join a union.
So they leave this school and go straight into a union job. So they're leaving the minimum wage job that we're giving them, and they go straight into a potential $20 to $24 job with union benefits and a career.
Caesar wants to join a union after he graduates. He says he's learned a lot more than construction skills during his time on the naval ship.
How to dress, what to wear, what not to wear. Professionalism, like just learn to switch it off. Like I can go act a little goofy with my family, but when I come here I have to act professional. We've been working on the museum up there because it needs to be sanded and prepped for paint. And recently we put up the spotlight on top of the boat. I feel accomplished, you know?
The interior of the ship is about 70% restored. Rooms that were once nothing but rotting wood now look like they did when the ship served her country during the Vietnam War and beyond. There's a sick bay and pharmacy, gleaming sinks and bathrooms, bunks that can sleep 33 sailors, a plush captain's cabin, and a beautifully restored helm complete with working electronics.
So to see the work that has been accomplished, the level of authenticity, really hits home when we have veterans that served on this or sister ships of it, and they haven't seen one for 50 years, and they come in here and they'll go to this helm or they'll go to one of these instruments and it brings tears to their eyes because it's so real to them.
It's not just veterans and volunteers who are grateful for the opportunity to restore this piece of history. The students understand the value too.
There's a sense of pride. There is the sense that they're going to be able to go back and they're part of the dream that once the ship is actually out on the waterfront in downtown Stockton, they're going to be able to show their children and they're going to be able to point to it with pride and be able to kind of talk about what role they had in that. It's been a very cool experience for students to be able to get hands-on construction experience, at the same time understanding that they have a service to the community that's going to actually directly impact their own families in the future.